What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Alright guys, we got a developer's notes that just came out as of today, actually 11 UTC, and it is a big one. Like, I'm talking about, this is their biggest development note out since the game has launched early access, and we're talking about a lot of different information, so get yourself ready. There's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad, and there's going to be some controversial in between, okay? So let's talk a little bit about it. So this is the Solo Leveling Arise team. Since the start of early access last month, our team has been running towards an even more significant mission, the Grand Update, which is obviously the one that's coming out when the game launches globally May 8th, okay? In this developer note, we'd like to share some finalized matters after considerations for improvement and provide a sneak peek at some of the upcoming changes, okay? So none of this has actually gone live yet. These are upcoming changes. I believe this is all that's coming down the pipeline. All right, so first off, Arise feedback. During early access period, many hunters provided diverse and fantastic feedback on maximizing the fun of various combat styles. We have promptly addressed feedback that could be quickly implemented through development, while improving for other feedback are still in progress. Now, the feedback they're referring to here, of course, is gold. Right, gold has been a problem since day one. So the gold cost for artifact replacement will be reduced based on enhancement tier. I just wish they just removed it altogether, but reducing it obviously at a lower cost is fine. Okay, let's just see what else they've done here. Gold repeat rewards for gate missions will be increased. So finally, the gate missions will be increased. And that at least will alleviate some of the pressures we have from like gaining gold and spending gold. So I think that's a big one because we have a lot of gates that we can do a day. I think it's 15 or something. So allowing us to gain more gold acquisitions through that format is great. Now what I would ideally like them to do is reduce the gates down to 7 or 8, like half them, and then give us double the reward. So that would actually work better because then we spend less time doing gates and more time actually doing content that really does matter. Considering lowering the difficulty of accomplish certain events. So they've talked about this, like reducing certain trophies required in story mode. Some of the hard modes are being reduced. Some of the actual battles will be reduced, etc. Now I think this is going to be very dynamic, and I think this is going to happen throughout the entire lifespan of the game, because as new content comes out, I would assume we're going to get stronger, content will get easier, but they will probably lower the difficulty for newer players coming in just to make life a little easier for everybody else, right? So reflecting the feedback from many hunters, we've decreased the artifact removal cost, increased the source of gold acquisition. Through this measure, we hope hunters can combine various artifact stats and experience diverse action gameplay. Thank you to all the hunters who provide feedback. I think we all did. I think this was a pretty common universal one that everyone complained about, okay? Now, next one up. Faction of the Shield skill up. We have activated the Faction of the Shield since the start of early access. Furthermore, we have leveled up Faction of the Shield to investigate malicious activities, impose sanctions, and take measures to delete rankings of detect fraudulent registrations. Faction of the Shield, by the way, is their security system in the game, right? In the future, we'll continue strengthening the Faction of the Shield and strive to create a fair gaming environment. Fraudulent registrations will not be able to escape the scrutiny of the Hunter Association surveillance team. So that's pretty much all the cheaters. That's all that means. So they're upping their security, hoping to capture all the cheaters, hoping to remove them all from the rankings, and continuously ban players who are taking advantage of any third-party applications or any malicious activity that they're causing in the game or doing in the game. So that's obviously a good sign. Okay, winds of change. First of all, thank you for all who have joined this. Now we'll introduce the completed development of the major updates mentioned in the previous developer notes, as well as various content that our team will be introducing in the future. Now get ready. This is going to be crazy, okay? This is where it all gets a little psychotic. Okay, so diversity. Our team hoped that the hunters would enjoy diverse gameplay through various combinations. Sometimes, though, combination of artifacts, sometimes through runes and blessing stones, or even combinations of different various skills and weapons. However, after analyzing the diverse play patterns of hunters during the past period, we found that various combinations were not being used as intended. We are currently looking to work on finding the cause and making improvements. So a couple different things here that they've made adjustments to. And now this goes back to what I've been saying all along about the Demon King Longsword and why it's not that strong, is they're actually buffing it. So first off, Sun Jinu's exclusive weapons. Demon King's Longsword is powerful yet hard to obtain S-rank item in the original story, but its power does not seem to be activated properly in game. So I've been saying all along, it's not that strong. Therefore, the damage will be adjusted upwards based on the advancement tier. So there you guys go. So as it goes up in advancement, the damage increase will also probably change. I'm assuming the base will also change because, quite honestly, it really is underwhelming. And most of the time, compared to the other SR wind weapons, it's a downgrade. So I'm glad to see that. The critical hit rate of Orc's broadsword will be adjusted upwards as well based on advancement tier. This one really needs it. I don't know if you watched the last weapon tier list I made. I dropped this one drastically down the list after testing it numerous times on various things on my free-to-play, and it was actually one of the worst items. The rare weapons were doing way better. So I'm glad they're doing that. That'll hopefully help it out. The damage of Rock Golem Hammer will also be adjusted upwards in advancement tier. Finally, that weapon needs some love, and I've been saying all along, it's just not that good. So you guys can see all of my testing has kind of, shown here that these items that I've been putting down in the tier list at the low bottom tiers, there's a reason why, because my testing showed these aren't as good as the other ones, and this is proof here that they're actually increasing the damage on some of these. The shield and damage for Night Killer will also be upwards based, and that's another one that I found in the last update that wasn't that good either. So I'm glad they're upping that one. So this is where it gets dicey, right? So here we go. The damage of Westwind will be reduced, and only one stack is possible per skill. And what stack they're referring to, guys, is the stack of Westwind. So if you have multiple enemies lined up and you shoot them all, you usually get the stacks right away. In this case, one skill, one stack, which means you're going to have to, the stacks will be a lot heavier now to gain from Westwind, and we're talking about the Westwind skill, which increases secret bullet by 30%, stacking up to 5 times. When the first target of Westwind is hit with a critical, the cooldown decreases. So now, again, the way it works now is if you have multiple enemies lined up, if the first enemy doesn't get crit, it doesn't matter, because if the other enemies subsequently do get hit by a crit, the cooldown is now reduced. Now it only counts the first enemy. It doesn't matter if you crit second, third, or fourth. It's irrelevant. You're not going to get the cooldown unless the first enemy gets hit. Again, pretty big nerf. These are both very big nerfs, so I'm curious to see how much of a damage reduction they've done, and the fact that they've reduced the stack possible now, instead of getting multiple stacks at one, it's going to take a lot longer now to see the damage increase of Westwind. So I'm curious to see what they do there. This is going to irk a lot of people, but when I made my video like 3 weeks ago, guys, about the weapons that you should level up now versus the ones later, I said the ones you level up now was Westwind, but I said it in that video, we're most likely going to see a nerf. And here it is, right? And it makes sense. Okay, so Hunter stats. We'll fix the issue where only 2 Phantom Foxes were summoned in certain circumstances upon reaching advancement 1 with Lee Bora. I never even noticed that, to be honest. I always saw 3. We'll fix the issue where Wu Jincho's super armor was not applied, which is huge. We'll increase the damage of Han Song's retrieve. She needs a buff, hardcore. We'll fix the issue where mana consumption increased abnormally upon reaching advancement tier with Song Chiul. That's good, because he needs it. Because he runs out of mana quick. Some text have been clarified to avoid confusion. Certain stats. Now this is this is a fast reply after the video. We'll fix the issue where critical damage stat dealt to Magic Beast was applied less than intended. We sincerely apologize for the hunters and any issues this may have caused. They're also talking about new storylines being added into the future right here. You guys can see. So make sure you're ready for that. After reading this, you have now a choice to make. Focus on farming artifacts or training your skills, unless you have high-end gear from head to toe. And then obviously they're talking about here the new, in particular, we're pleased to know that you have provided different combat experiences by observing hunter challenges with Gatekeeper of Hell, Cerberus, and the Runaway Giant Arachnid. To provide another layer of enjoyment in hunter combination battles, we are preparing a system with various costumes for hunters actively participating in raids and making the dungeons feel like a runaway. We appreciate your anticipation. So I'm not sure exactly what this means. I'm assuming it's going to be either brand new costumes in regards to actual artifacts, or maybe it's just actual costumes. So I'm not sure which way they're going with this. So with Sun Jin Woo's experience changed to Monarch once in the original work, our team wanted to express that Sun Jin Woo's is continuously growing. Through the changed op system, feedback on growth is provided through milestones to expand the combat experience. With the upcoming update, Sun Jin Woo will be able to achieve job changes beyond the Shadow of Monarch, and hunters will be able to experience diverse skills among unique costumes based on the new job changes. So that's pretty crazy. Fragments of their stories, in addition to the stories of Kang Tashik, who caused mysterious accidents, they're adding in more hunters, which is amazing because currently we have none, and it's free ways to get essence stones. And power destruction here, right? The power destruction uses various lethal moves depending on the phase transitions. Sometimes he raises his right hand, sometimes he sweeps, going to berserk. The key to power destruction is repeatedly enjoying the pleasures of intuitive numeral growth through the cycle of growth. Numerically rewards growth, etc. However, we have determined the improvement to the current mechanisms are necessary to provide additional above mentioned enjoyment, and we're considering various improvements, so that's going to change as well. And then of course Cha Hae-in will be joining the Gate Raid, So you guys can see there, she is most likely, looks like, as many hunters have eagerly awaited. We are pleased to announce in the development note that child will join in the gate raid. So it looks like we're going to see her joining next. So there you guys have it. So we appreciate your continuous interest and participation in Solo Leveling Arise as we embark into new journey. As a token of appreciation, CM Iron has prepared a gift for hunters. So check out the link below. You guys can see here, this is now going to be provided to us going forward. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.